For over 2 years, I created a career goal here at the Rag Company to research and develop a pressure washing accessory package that could provide one of the best experiences for car detailers and automotive enthusiasts. And by the end of this video, you'll have product knowledge about each individual product, what makes these products different, and why you should consider them as your next pressure washing upgrade. Hey guys, Ian through the Rag Company, and in today's exciting video, it's finally time to introduce you to the Ultra H2O line. So this right here is the tool that you're going to be using the most, the Ultra H2O spray gun. And for that reason, we wanted to make sure that we delivered the best experience possible, not only from a performance aspect, but also ergonomics. So let's jump into all the key features of the spray gun. So starting from bottom to top, let's talk about the swivel. Of course it has a swivel. It's 2026. We could not launch a pressure washer spray gun without having a killer swivel. So the swivel was actually one of the most important aspects of the entire gun, and it should be when it comes to buying a pressure washer gun. So why do you want a swivel? Well, the swivel is actually going to prevent hose binding, especially when it comes from a pressure washer. And you don't want that when it comes to a pressure washer hose. And we spent plenty of time ensuring that this was going to have a very, very long working life and feel very, very fluid in the hands. Speaking of hands, hands get fatigued when using pressure washer spray guns. This is a normal part of detailing and pressure washing. So what we wanted to do was add in a trigger lock. Yes, you heard that correctly, a trigger lock. This is going to drastically reduce the fatigue when it comes to pressure washing and make the entire experience more comfortable. So we had this to where you actually pull with one hand, you take your other hand, and you intentionally lock the trigger. That way it does not lock on its own for any reason. Once it's in the locked position, we've also given it a featherweight release, meaning that if you barely tap your finger on this, it is going to release that trigger lock. And ideally, if you drop the gun or anything happens, it will also release on its own as well. Now, if you don't want to use the lock, but you want to use a lockout, then check this out, because on the back, you have a normal lockout that's going to align with a notch there on the inside of the handle, meaning that you can actually lock the trigger in the locked position. That way, nobody is actively pressing it by accident and you're having an accidental discharge. Now, I don't know about you guys, but when it comes to pressure washing my own vehicles at home, I lose my nozzles all the time. We wanted to solve that. So let me show you how this works. I will simply grab this and insert it into the hole, just like that. Now, I want to get serious for a second. This nozzle holder will change the way that you wash your vehicle. It is going to save you from bending over. It is going to save you from dropping things on the ground. It's going to save you from dropping this on your car. This nozzle is not coming out. Not at all. And again, this is going to be a replaceable O-ring in which you actually get a spare in the box, which is awesome. So with wear and tear, you can eventually replace this. So again, this works with any type of spray nozzle for a pressure washer. So even if you have a different pressure washer nozzle than this one right here, it will still work, and you can switch it in from both sides. So that right there is one of the best things that we added to this spray gun. Now from here, I want to move on to the actual construction and the body of the spray gun itself, because this is another very important aspect of pressure washing. We wanted to make sure that we made these with an impact-resistant plastic, something that's going to be very impact-resistant for normal drops, but also be somewhat abrasion-resistant with the overall color scheme. When you get scuffs on a gray gun, it's not going to be as visible. Maybe some dirt could be visible, but something that could be easily cleaned off. And we've put this through quite a bit of abuse, and I can confidently say that this gun will handle and endure the daily tasks of detailing. Just don't purposely try to destroy it. Now, we did take it another step further than just the plastic and color itself. We also focused on the grip points. So when you are gripping a normal pressure washer gun, most of the time they're going to be fully plastic, meaning that the handle is going to be fully plastic. Sometimes they have some texture on them, sometimes they are kind of flat and smooth, but oftentimes that can be a bit slippery. So we went through and did rubberization on all the important grip points on the spray gun itself, meaning the back of the gun here. You are going to be greeted with a wonderful rubberized grip. But one thing that people don't actually see is the rubberized point on the trigger itself. So right here, embedded in the middle of the trigger, is going to be more rubberization, making that more safe and secure in your hand. We use a very chemical resistant rubber that's very soft touch and very durable, and again, feels very, very comfortable in the hands. Now, the trigger is another important aspect of the spray gun because depending on how hard this trigger is to pull, or depending on how it kind of aligns with your hand, it can be extremely uncomfortable. So we address that by making sure that this trigger does not bind up any type of skin on the palm of your hand. On top of that, we also made sure that this trigger pull was very light. Now, we've talked about the body and we've talked about the trigger, but we haven't talked about what's under the hood itself. And that is going to be stainless and steel internals throughout the entirety of the spray gun. So what that means is that we have a stainless steel swivel, stainless and steel internals, and a stainless steel auto-lock quick disconnect, meaning that there is not any brass anywhere in sight. Now, last but not least, and probably one of my favorite features on the gun, is the stainless steel auto-lock quick disconnect. This is going to be a single-handed operation connector, meaning that you take your nozzle, press it on, and when you are done, you pull this back with one hand, pop it off, put it in the nozzle holder, and get back to cleaning. Now, we're not the first to do this, as there is a few different quick disconnects like this out on the market, but this one right here stood up to the test of time like no other. And it's rebuildable because you can replace the gaskets on it, which is amazing. We have over a year and a half of testing this daily. It has been one of the best connectors that we have ever used, and we are so obsessed with it that we also put it on the spray wand itself, which I'll get to here in a little bit. But this is the auto lock quick disconnect, and it is so satisfying. So everything that you see here is what's going to come with the spray gun, and it should be noted that this spray gun is ready to go right out the box, meaning that all the fittings have been Tefloned from the factory, and if you have a quick disconnect on your hose, you are ready to pop this in and get straight to washing. Now, if for any reason there is a leak or a droplet that comes out of one of the Tefloned areas, no worries, because we've included some extra Teflon tape here in the spray gun. So you can simply remove the old Teflon tape, re-Teflon it, and plug that back in, and you should be good to go. Now, we've also included a couple spare O-rings for the auto-lock quick disconnect here. So if this for any reason were to wear out, or you've done too many spins with your foam cannon, you're gonna have two different O-rings here that you can rebuild and replace those with. And then lastly, the press-in fitting for the nozzle holder. This will wear with time. It is a wearable part, but in case it does, you do have a replacement O-ring here in the bag as well. If you are running a stock hose on your pressure washer, well, we've got you covered because you probably don't have a quick disconnect. So we've included a quick disconnect here in the box that is also stainless steel. So that's going to connect into the bottom of the gun just like that, and you are going to thread this into your stock hose. Now, if you find that that connector does not quite go in nice, well, you probably need an adapter. So we've also included an M15 adapter here inside the kit. So you're going to thread this on here, and there you go. You are ready to thread that onto your hose and then connect it back onto the gun. So we wanted to make sure that this was a usable gun right out the gate with no issues, and I think we've accomplished that. So let's take a moment to talk about the little guy, and that is this right here. We created this nozzle in 3 different orifice sizes, 3.0, 4.0, and 5.0 at a 40-degree spray pattern. Now, certain pressure washers are going to have a factory spec recommendation for an orifice size, meaning that some may require a 3.0, some may require a 5.0, and that is going to allow the amount of water to pass through that orifice. Now, for example, if you have the wrong orifice size paired with your pressure washer, you could be over amping your pressure washer, meaning that you could potentially be causing some damage long term. But if you have maybe, let's just say, a large nozzle size on something that's relatively underpowered, then you're really not going to be getting a good spray effect in the first place, meaning that you're not going to really be rinsing anything. It's going to be kind of just barely shooting a mist of water. So you don't want that either. Now, every single pressure washer manufacturer is going to have a recommendation for a particular orifice size, and we highly recommend researching that and checking it out for yourself. But if you want to make it simple, you can go to our website and we actually have a drop-down calculator that's going to help you find the right orifice size for you. Now we have a 3.0, 4.0, and 5.0, all at the 40-degree spray pattern. In the future, we may come out with different spray patterns, but in the meantime, I think the 40-degree is perfect. Now this is also going to be stainless steel. And if for any reason you kind of don't know what the orifice size is, don't worry, because we actually have it laser etched here. So you can see that we have a 3.0 here, and on the bottom it says 40. What makes this even cooler is not just the stainless steel internals or just the orifice size, but the actual rubber shroud. This is going to be a very soft touch rubber with a little bit of grip to it and the Rag Company logo. And we've also added a cool design here, so if your hands are wet or soapy, it still allows you to grab it and pull it off easily. So a very important part of pressure washing, because you don't want this to launch off and hit your vehicle and damage anything, but if it did, well, at least you have a rubberized guard here that's going to prevent damage. And something that you can use on any pressure washer gun. You don't have to have the Ultra H2O spray gun to use this. So regardless of the gun you use, this right here is going to be a fantastic nozzle option for you. Now next up is something that is near and dear to my heart, and that is the Ultra H2O Spray Wand. This right here is going to be an impact-resistant shell throughout the entire spray wand. On the bottom here is going to be a rubberized undergrip. That's part of the design that I'll show you here in a second. The rubberization is chemical resistant and has the Ultra H2O logo embossed into it. Just like the rest of the Ultra H2O line, you are going to have stainless steel internals throughout. So this entire pipe here is going to be stainless steel with your stainless steel fitting here on the back. And of course, a stainless steel auto lock quick disconnect. This right here provides such a good experience because again, you take this, you take your nozzle, and you snap that in place, baby. And when you're done, you pop that off and then you put this back into your gun. On the theme of the auto lock quick disconnect. So here inside the box, you're gonna get 2 more additional O-rings there to rebuild that auto lock quick disconnect if they were to wear out with time. Trust me, it's gonna be a very long time, but having that option is nice, so do not lose those. All in all, this is without doubt one of the best spray wands that I have ever felt. It feels so good in the hand, it has fantastic rotation on the gun, and again, it seamlessly comes together. And I need to show you what that looks like. Do you see it? Do you see it? This was the first thing I drew, and this was like the second thing, so that all comes together nice and uniform because, again, why are they not uniform? Why were they never created to look good with each other? I think I overthought this. Now, I know what you might be thinking. You guys have put a lot of thought and effort into a lot of these different things in the Ultra H2O line. So that means there's gotta be at least one product that you guys didn't really put a lot of effort into, or one product that you just kind of pushed across the finish line, right? Well, no. So designing a foam cannon from the ground up, it was the only way that we could do this. So starting from the top, you are greeted with a knob. Yes, and what's different from other knobs is this. Detents throughout every click of your top foam adjustment. This right here is going to change the dilution of your foam to water ratio. So every single turn here actually makes a difference in how much foam or how much soap is being added into the mixture here coming out the end of the foam cannon. Let's be honest, most of us just want max foam all the time. So you want to simply set it and forget it, and this way you're not going to lose your foam adjustment. Now, speaking of knobs and clicks and detents, that's not the only area that we added that to. Now, coming to the middle section of the nozzle here, you're gonna see this kind of black area. We've added the same chemical resistant rubberization that we did to the wand and the spray gun to the actual adjustment here for the position of the nozzle itself. Now, this is going to be an 8th turn adjustment forming a full 360. So if you like to foam diagonally, you can. If you wanna foam horizontally, you can. And if you wanna foam vertically, of course, you can. But now you're probably thinking, well, it's not that adjustment that loses its position, it's the pattern, it's the width of the foam. We have more detent clicks for every adjustment here on your foam spray pattern. So once you've set your vertical, horizontal, or diagonal position, you'll come here and crank this to find your perfect amount of foam. So whether you want to be foaming at this spray pattern, or shoot it kind of like it's a freaking targeted ray, you can do that as well. So clicks, clicks, and clicks. All right, so under the hood of this one is, as you can imagine, more stainless steel components. Now, not only is it stainless steel, but it's completely rebuildable. And here in the very near future, we are going to have full rebuild kits for the foam cannon. So this is not just something that you buy and then you break and then you kind of just don't use or throw away. It's something that you can rebuild and reuse as needed because foam cannons see quite a bit of abuse. Now, under here, you're going to have a stainless steel system along with a 3-filter system as well, meaning that you're going to have 3 overall filters that this is going to pass through kind of in a sandwich structure to provide that delicious, lustrous foam. And so for that, the rebuild kit will also have replacement filters as well. Now, coming to the end of this, we are going to have the standard quick disconnect here that is attached with a rubber O-ring. That O-ring is also replaceable if that were to wear out. So there's no Teflon tape needed at all. This is going to be an O-ring seat fit. Now, coming down from the top there, let's talk about the lid. So this is going to be a 1/4 turn lid setup that is going to be a press fit. So on the inside of the lid here, you are going to see a silicone O-ring. Now this is going to provide a nice seat to the foam cannon bottle itself. Now this is going to be a replaceable and wearable item with time, but you will be able to swap that out with a brand new one without any issues. And then coming to the underside here, we're going to have the weighted pickup hose. So this is going to be made out of a very durable silicone that's also chemical resistant with a fine filter at the bottom and a weighted stainless weight. So this right here can be sprayed at different angles without picking up a bunch of air. So it's going to be nice if you want to spray this kind of diagonally or sideways, you can because of the weighted pickup tube. All right, so let's talk about the bottle itself because there was also a pretty significant amount of thought that went into this. This is an HDPE chemical resistant bottle, meaning that the frostedness that you see here is going to allow you to use some higher alkaline chemicals as well as some acidic chemicals without degrading the plastic. Also, this is going to be very, very durable, meaning that if you drop the bottle itself, this is not going to break and crack. And it doesn't tip over. What's nice is that it's a stable base with good grip points. So when you grip the bottle and turn this off, it feels very, very good in the hand. Now, the next big thing that we wanted to address was the measurements. These are comically large, and I did that because look, you don't want to be squinting your eyes thinking, what does that number say? And we also made sure that the HDPE bottle was frosted in a way that you can see the chemical through it. So there was a lot of thought that went into this. And also, if you're looking for replacements, these will be available as replacements with an additional lid very, very soon. So last but not least, the foam cannon includes 2 stainless orifice sizes in the box. The 1.25, which is installed from the factory, and the 1.1 included in the box as an extra. Now, depending on the pressure washer that you're using, you may want to swap out that orifice size as needed, so please refer to your pressure washer's manual. So hopefully by now you have a good understanding of the Ultra H2O line, why we created it, and really all the thought that went into it over the last several years. Now, we hope that this ultimately improves your wash process, and really to test this whole theory, we brought in some Rag Company ambassadors to get their first impressions in using the H2O line themselves.
Hello, Anthony.
Hello, Alex. Who would like to be the first to try this out? And who wants to lay down some foam?
Oh, I do.
You do? Okay. So we'll go ahead and get you doing some rinsing, and I'm going to get some foam mixed up for you.
Okay.
So go through it.
Sounds good. There's a really nice tactile feel too when you put this in. Like I like the initial, it doesn't fight you, but yeah, let's give it a rinse. Trigger lock's nice. I like the trigger lock because you get fatigued, especially if you're rinsing all day. Right now, I've just had it in and it's way more casual here. I like that. No fluff, it's legit so far, but I need to see the foam, Anthony. I've actually never physically touched this, so just need about 10 seconds. Ooh. The detents are like loud, which is really nice. I actually like the short nozzle on it because what happens a lot of times with some of them with really bigger nozzles is you set it down and it gets top heavy and it falls. I can tell right now as I set this down, it's not tipping.
Go ahead and click it in, and Alex is next. I know he's ready. So max foam, right? Set to max. Yeah, there you go.
There's only one way to do it.
Yeah, there's only one way to do it. There you go.
So let's see. I've seen enough. Yeah, sign me up.
Alex, you're next. Get in here.
Thank you, Anthony. Alex here with the Detail Desk, Halftime Show, Detail Grind Podcast, you name it, I'm there. Now, that being said, as an elder millennial, I really, really love this holder because when you have a dribble in your pocket, you want to know where it came from. If it's coming from a nozzle, I don't love that, okay? So, you got to be cognizant. I'm cognizant of the snow that's on here. I'm dealing with snow on the ground at home. Don't love it, so I'm going to apply some on the truck. So I'm going to go ahead, just push that bad boy on there. Shampoo Plus, who doesn't love that? So what do you say we foam this?
Joey, get in there. You're a tall guy.
I can get the roof, but yeah, this is where I shine is roofs. I do like the clickiness. The clickiness is really, really nice. Nice touch there. This is very comfy. I have big hands, and there's a lot of guns that I've used that are just, my hand cramps up because, I'm trying to figure out the
How
best
is
way to do
the
it.
rubber? You like the rubber on it?
Rubber's very grippy. Like, even though my hands are a little soapy and a little wet from the foam cannon, these are, it's holding up really nicely. But let's, little trigger lock.
You can still lock that, yeah.
Yeah, okay. There we go. There we go. There we go. It's really nice foam production. Yeah, I'm a connoisseur of foam cannons. I've got a whole bunch that I play with. There's some that I always go back to because the foam is my favorite. This is how I like my foam.
Yeah.
So I think this is a win in my book.
Yeah, well, while we have some left, let's get Nick. Are you ready? Go for it.
I mean, right off the bat, it really is super smooth. I mean, it's very comfortable in the hand. You might be able to relate, but I have smaller hands, so
Yeah.
so
Did they put you up to that?
they did not put me up to that.
Didn't they?
I do love the tactile clickiness of it. It's just, if nothing else, it's very satisfying. I know with like the top here, most people are probably not adjusting this, but if you ever need to, I know sometimes if I have multiple vehicles and I'm trying to save some soap, I'll make some minor adjustments just to not rifle through it. So it's just nice to have that tactile feel there. And like the weight of the gun, it feels very well balanced. Even though the cannon's full, it doesn't feel top heavy. I don't feel
not at all.
unbalanced there.
Yeah.
So I do want to say too, like, especially I know you talked about the wand earlier.
Click that.
It's very robust. Like, it doesn't feel cheap. I know there's a lot of them. You talked about what went into designing this.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you are going to be gripping it. It feels very stout. It's good. I like it. I genuinely am just surprised at how smooth this is. Again, not to harp on the small hands thing, but with having smaller hands to constantly have to like pull that collar, the less I have to do that, the better. So just to be able to push on a foam cannon, it just makes the ease of use that much better.
So go ahead, pull in the trigger and hit the lock on the bottom for me, right? So it's gonna be a two-handed thing. Find that lock there and hit that, perfect. And now you can just grab right there.
Yeah, that was interesting technique that you're using earlier. I mean, I don't know that I'll be washing this way, but for roofs, I mean, I'm a smaller guy. I don't have that luxury that Joey has of being able to.
But look how well you're rinsing that roof though. Like, you're rinsing that roof probably better than you've ever rinsed a roof.
I mean, I definitely feel like I can extend further and more comfortably.
Yep.
Then if you have to hold that handle, it just gets kind of awkward to be up here. So that's one of the features I'm definitely looking forward to the most is that trigger lock.
Yep.
And you don't realize too how much your hand fatigues just holding.
Yep.
Even if it doesn't require much pressure to hold down that trigger, it still gets tiring. Sure, day to day, like you might get tired just throughout the day, but you're thinking if you're doing this full time or even just as a weekend warrior, it's like you're thinking multiple years of wear and tear on your body. So comfort isn't just a daily thing. You're looking out for future self.
And it really is all the details and thought that went into the Ultra H2O line that addressed all those things. Not for just now, but for the future as well. Because A lot of the improvements that we've made to the Ultra H2O system came out of our own frustrations here. Being a detailer for as long as I had my own frustrations with many of the products that were out on the market. We put so much effort into this as the rag company that you never would have thought that a microfiber company would have done this with a pressure washing system or a pressure washing line. And we couldn't be more proud because it's probably what people least expected. So if you want a piece of this and a piece of Ultra H2O history, then I have some pretty good news for you, because we have a limited run of our titanium plated spray guns that you can pick up at theragcompany.com. And if for some reason they sell out really, really fast and you still want a chance to potentially win one, all you have to do is comment down below, and we're gonna be randomly picking a comment in the next 3 days so one of you can take home the full kit. So as always, we hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hope you enjoyed all the effort and all the features that we put into this spray system. I can't wait for you guys to try it, whether you're a detailer, an enthusiast, whatever it may be. You're going to love this and you're going to look forward to using the system every single time. So as always, if you guys like this video, please make sure to give us a big thumbs up, subscribe down below for more, and as always, happy washing.